when I was growing up, this and that, whatever. And it's like, sweetie, you ain't lived your life yet. You ain't done nothing with your life, sweetie. What? Like, hi everyone. I'm Soraya Rhea, and thanks for tuning in to my review of 90 Day Fiancé Before the 90 Days, Season 3, Episode 1. Y'all, I was not sure if I was going to review this show, but alas, there's some characters I was just like, what? So I had to say something. Let's get into it. All right. Well, for my background today, all right, for this, maybe for the season or whatever, for a time, I decided just to put the world map, because we going all over the globe today. Let's get into it. First up, we have Rebecca from Georgia, who is 47 years old, and Zied, I think that's how you pronounce his name, from Tunisia, and he's 26. Whew. This is a heavy one. To start with them, this is heavy. Okay, so Rebecca is a private investigator. Homegirl has lived her life, okay? She has 3 grown kids, several grandchildren, and she is a really good private investigator and I guess enjoys her work. And she said she loves catching the cheaters, And to me, it's almost a little bit dangerous work because of the things when they have to sneak and put like the GPS underneath the person's car that they're trying to track. First of all, how is that legal? And to me, it's kind of a way that you put your life in danger because what if somebody sees you and then they try to like rough you up or whatever? But anyway, but she loves the work. We find out that she has been married 3 times to regular old American men. Then some time ago, she met a man from Morocco, I believed, who I'm assuming maybe she married him over there because then I think she said she brought him over on the spousal visa. So if I understand correctly, I believe that is marriage number 4. Anyway, being that she's a private investigator, she was able to track her Moroccan boo down and she found out that he was cheating on her. So then, then they were done. Yes, but she did not want to give up on love, which I think is great. But she decides to, again, try her hand at a foreign man. And she meets Zied online and finds out that he's 26, but she moves forward with it anyway. She said he is romantic and sweet because he uses so many emojis in their text messages. I had to write down some of these quotes because I thought they were unbelievable. And some of the logic that people use to, whether it's to justify their their relationships or just to I don't get it. When she's talking to him on Skype or whatever, or when she sends him pictures of herself or whatever, she uses all of those filters, and some of the, you know how some of these filters be making you look like a different person, okay? You ain't got no blemishes, okay? She's an attractive person, but the filters that she's using to send a bunch of her pictures, it makes her look 20 years younger. Straight up. She looks 26 in some of these pictures. So she notes that she's a little concerned because of the amount of filters that she uses all the time. She is a little bit concerned that Zied may not be as pleased with her when she finally meets him in person. What's also weird is that she has a bunch of pictures of Zied all over her house. And they all look like bad selfies that he took. It's so weird. Just the classic guy that just takes the worst selfies. She has framed pictures of him all over her house. Woo, this is weird. We just got the weirdos from jump, okay? He says things to her such as, I am for you. My life is for you. You are mine. You are all mine. I love you so much. And it just makes her melt. So she says, because of those things, he's so amazing. And that's why she loves him so much. She then lets us know that she has a secret and she's unsure of how Zied is going to take it when she finally tells him. Her secret is that she has not filed for divorce yet. So she is technically still a married woman, which means she is a married woman. And then she says something like, in that culture, having a relationship with a married woman is unheard of and, strictly forbidden. And I'm like, okay, I understand. I mean, I don't know if like you could actually go to jail for that over there or whatever, but like here in America, like you may not be arrested for that, but like we have names for people like that, like homewrecker. You know, we wouldn't necessarily use the word forbidden here, but that doesn't fly with anybody. Who says, oh yeah, I mean, hey, if you gotta have a relationship with a married woman, hey, you might just have to do it. No, like that's never a good thing. People may do it, but it's not like people walk around like, yup, yeah, so I just would. I mean, well, maybe some people do, but you know what I mean? Like, sometimes when people are just like, yeah, in that culture, this is forbidden, or when that culture, they don't like this. It's like, wait, I understand that America is free in many ways and open, but like, there are still things just across the board morally. People are just like, no, that's not cool. Cheating is not cool. She does say that, she made a decision to blindly trust a man that she met on the internet. And it's very possible that, this may not go well, but she has to try anyhow. It's going to go down, and it's going to go down pretty quickly. Moving on to Caesar, who's 46 and from Jacksonville, North Carolina, and Maria, who is 28 and from Ukraine. Ooh, I think Caesar really was the one that made me decide, okay, I'm going to go ahead and review before the 90 days. Caesar seems like a nice black man, who has a non-traditional job, for a man or maybe for a black man or whatever. Anyway, but it doesn't matter. Caesar is a nail tech for the past 15 years. He got into the business through his ex-girlfriend, who we see her face blotted out, but, blurred out. But she probably was Asian because she looked kind of, she was definitely light-skinned or whatever. I think she was Asian. Anyway, that's how we got into the career of, as being a nail tech, but he's been working at his current job for the past 5 years. He's a great, stellar employee. He is in demand, highly requested. He has his regulars that come in. He's good at what he does. People love him. And he's a really nice guy. He basically said that he had with his ex, girlfriend, I believe that was his high school girlfriend, that he was in a relationship with her for 13 years. It eventually ended. He then met Maria through this website called Anastasia Date, and it specifically brings Americans together with women from the Ukraine for a quote-unquote small price. Well, the small price that he paid to send her roses and like some kind of certificate thing that had his information and his email address that gave her the option to contact him, the small price that he added to that was $450. I mean, okay. And to his surprise and delight, Maria responded back. And they have been in a relationship for 5 years. Okay. So this isn't a fly by night, like we've just been dating or just talking for the last 3 months or whatever. No, this person has been in his life for years. Okay. But they have never met. They've only talked on the phone. And they've sent videos back and forth to each other. I'm assuming that they've also Skyped, but I don't think that we ever saw them Skyped. I think we only saw them text, talk on the phone, and that's it. They've never met in person. Caesar tells us that they have tried to meet up on 3 different occasions, but in each time, something has come up and the trip gets canceled. But, 4th time's a charm, right? So he believes without a shadow of a doubt that this trip is going to happen, and he is planning a trip to the Ukraine to finally visit her, and he's really excited to meet her finally, and he's just ready to propose. And they've been talking about marriage. She calls him baby and husband, so they're practically there. He has been sending her money each month. How much money? $800, y'all. He said because, now mind you, Maria has a job. Maria's a receptionist apparently. But she needs help with rent and her cable and clothes. So Caesar has been sending her a nice check each month, $800. And at one point he said that like money was tight, so that's one of the reasons why they also haven't been able to see each other. But it's like, but Caesar though, but like money's tight because you've been sending her all your money. $800 a month. That's a whole bill. Like, that's a whole rent. Like, you know what I'm saying? More than rent when you live in the South, right? So it's kind of crazy. So he's planning the trip to Ukraine. Next thing you know, he gets on the phone with her at one point, and she tells him, no. Better that you don't come to Ukraine. The weather's not good right now. It's cold, whatever. So look at that. Another trip canceled. Well, she then comes up with the bright idea that they should meet in a nicer place, a warm place, Mexico. Well, then he finally decides to agree with her and say, fine, he won't come to Ukraine, but he will go to Mexico instead. Now, like he said, money is tight. So then he goes to his boss. What? Does this happen in life? So Caesar asks his boss for an advance or for a loan, essentially. And he lets his boss know what the money is for. His boss knows that he's been talking to Maria for all these years, whatever. Even one of his regulars knows about Maria. They're all concerned because they're just like, oh, is he being catfish? He's never met her in person. It's been 5 years and he's been sending her all this money for so long. Anyway, but because he has emptied out his bank account, by the way, he also gives us a total over the years. It's been about 40K. Okay. Whoo! And you ain't never seen her in person. His boss agrees to give him a loan so that he can send her money to buy her ticket to Mexico, and that he will buy his ticket to Mexico and then pay for the hotel as well. Oh man. Why the boss, says yes, I'm assuming is because he wants us all to know about his, his business. Aloha Nails in Jacksonville, North Carolina. Fact is, if I was in Jacksonville, North Carolina, I'd go as seen on 90 Day Fiancé before the 90 days. Yes, I would. And I would go and try to get my nails done by Caesar as well. Yes, Caesar, I hear that you are highly recommended. So, his boss lends him the money. So Caesar books his ticket, he books the hotel, and then he sends the money to Maria. He then lets us know that he did not buy Maria's ticket because he trusts her. And it's almost, clearly, it's probably sparked by the producers to say this, but he's like, he trusts her and there's no reason for him to have to book the ticket himself. Like, come the end of his segment, she then says to him, oh, have you seen the news? And he's like, what are you talking about? And he's like, I'm so excited. I'm going to see you soon. And she's like, Russia is attacking Ukraine. We can't leave. Like, it's not safe, and it would be too difficult for me to leave the country and then get back in. Like, it's just not good right now. It's not safe. And then he's like, wait a minute. And he asks her flat out, are you saying that there are no flights leaving Ukraine at all? And she's just like, you're not listening to me. Like, I can't leave right now. He's like, it's okay. All right. He's like, okay, be safe. And then she like kind of snaps and is like, yeah. So easy to say, be safe. So easy to say from where you are, and then she kind of at one point says, you're always thinking about yourself and whatever. And I'm like, the producer called him out at one point and said, does she ever say your name when she sends you videos? Like, and she's like, hi, my baby. Hi, my husband. I love you. I miss you. Very generic. Nothing specific to anything. Not like, how's the weather in Jacksonville, North Carolina? Nope. Very generic. And the producer calls him on it and says, like, does she ever say his name with those videos that she sends? And he's like, well, she calls me baby. That's what she calls me. So that's her name for him. And the producer was kind of like, well, do you think there's a possibility that maybe she could be sending these videos to multiple people? And, he's clearly not thinking that that's a possibility. You guys, I just want to say, like, I could just understand when somebody gets into the life of using a sugar daddy. All right, moving on to Avery, who is 19 and from Columbus, Ohio, and Omar from Syria. Ooh, this is another tough one. Yes, Avery is 19 years old. Sometimes it's really weird to hear, like, either 19-year-old, 20-year-old, 21-year-old talk about like, yeah, like when I was younger, or like, you know, when I was growing up, this and that, whatever. And it's like, sweetie, you ain't lived your life yet. You ain't done nothing with your life, sweetie. What? Like, you know, and that's how Avery is talking, you know. So she's like, yeah, like when I was growing up, I was like a typical all-American girl. I hate that phrase, but you know, all-American. So yes, she was very much involved with cheer and gymnastics and just doing all of that. That was her whole life or whatever. Now why she's not in college right now, or why she's not in some kind of program or whatever, it's also not clear as to whether she has a full-time job or anything. They do not reveal any of that. All we do know is that she converted to Islam 6 months ago. And she said, or she might have said it was a coworker. Yeah, maybe it was a coworker that she said. Anyway, whatever. Somebody who was Muslim, she decided to ask them about their faith. And she just got really interested really quickly. She realized that she needed something to keep her in line. And although she grew up Christian, or, you know, Christian-like or whatever, you know, it never really spoke to her. So she's full on, you know, doing her prayers on the rug, I guess 5 times a day. She keeps herself covered, head covered. She says she only reveals her face and her hands, you know. And what I find interesting, my thing is, look, hey, obviously whatever beliefs you choose, that is your choice, right? What I find interesting is when she's saying that Christianity never spoke to her or whatever, the things that we're seeing her kind of like gravitate towards with the Muslim faith is like, again, the modesty part and, you know, the devoutness of the praying. Obviously she's not eating pork and stuff, whatever. And I'm just like, sweetie, have you never met the Duggars? She's saying, you know, she noted that like, you know, well, I guess she's already had sex because you do see her in a future clip saying that she wishes that she had waited until she was married, you know, or saved herself until marriage, whatever. And I'm like, sweet. And you know, saying that, you know, there's no kissing or whatever. So she's already engaged to her, you know, her person, to Omar. And my thing is, I'm like, yeah, sweetie, I'm like, they don't kiss. The Duggars ain't never alone until they married. They brothers and sisters gotta chaperone they dates. Don't you see them? I mean, some of them only do the ankle length skirts, sweetie. They don't ever wear bathing suits. You ever heard the modest suit? It's like a scuba diving thing with a skirt. Okay? I mean, they may not do the head coverings or whatever, but like, sweetie, like there are enough Christians that do that. So it's like, I mean, if you're looking for those kinds of things, those things exist in Christianity, okay? And there are Christians who don't eat pork. Not all Christians like eat everything, whatever. Please, Christians, they don't eat pork, they don't eat shellfish or whatever, you know. So it's like, sweetie, like, you know, don't kiss, the whatever. Like, sweetie, you can find those things in Christianity, okay? But anyway, but yeah, so it's only been 6 months, so she's one of those quick fly-by-night people. And through her, you know, newfound Muslim faith, she, I guess, joined one of the like Muslim dating apps, and that's when she met how she met Omar. And then she said she doesn't know if it was a mistake, but Omar's location was listed as America. But then shortly after, she found out that he was actually in Syria. And, you know, he used to live in Aleppo, but now he lives in a different city because in Aleppo, his home was destroyed. So, but she is ready. I mean, she's got her plane ticket ready to go and meet Omar, but she's not going to meet him in Syria. She's going to meet him in Lebanon instead. Now her mom is going to go with her because her mom is just like, no, you are not going over there by yourself. So at one point, she goes to visit a friend whose parents are, you know, or her dad is a minister or whatever, Christian. And she lets them know her secret, which is that she plans to marry him when she gets over there to Lebanon. And then she also plans to stay over there with him. And she says, you know what? I know that this is a war-torn country right now. I know that plenty of people are trying to move out of Syria. But she's like, this is her love. She loves him. And she's okay moving her life into this war-torn country. She does not care about that. Oh, Omar asked her to marry him after communicating with her for a month. So typical 90-day fashion, everything is going very quickly. So clearly they have only known each other for like 4 or 5 months, because she's only been, a Muslim for 6 months, Her brother calls her out at one point and says like, oh my goodness, like Avery, everything she plans to do, she makes this grand plan, but then she never follows through with anything. He says at one point she was vegetarian, but then they found out that she was sneaking food up to her room, maybe some cheese and maybe some, well, I don't know if it's vegan, but like maybe some chicken and, whatever. And he's like, so this doesn't seem like it's anything different. But I mean, homegirl got her a plane ticket already. So, this is a little disturbing because she's as young as she is, and then it doesn't appear as to why Omar had America listed in his location, and whether they have had that conversation or not is unclear. Clearly she wants to be different. That's my assessment of her. She wants to be different. She wants, I don't know if college was never on the table for her. Because my thing is like, you couldn't get a sports scholarship. I mean, she looked like she was a decent, cheerleader / gymnast or whatever. I'm like, I don't know, So, she seems like somebody that is just irking to be different in some way. Especially since she says she's just this all-American. So doing things that typical American girls like herself in her area of Columbus, Ohio would do. But she definitely seems like somebody that kind of wants to break out of the mold and just be different in a way. And I think she's definitely found this way of being, exceptionally different. And now she's going to be super different by even living in a completely different country. I wonder if her mom going with her is better or worse, because it's like some of the questions that came to my mind was like, at what point do you really let your kid sink, and see if they swim, I don't know. I mean, she's already planning to do whatever, but, obviously her mom going there with her is going to be a kind of safety net for her. I mean, whether or not her mom will be able to talk her out of officially marrying him right then and there is unclear. And then once she's married, I don't know. Does that mean that she's going to come right back with her mom? Unclear. She actually seems a bit more concerning to me than like Nicole and Azan, All right. Now we are moving on to a familiar face, Darcy, who is now 44 and from Connecticut. And now we have Tom, who is 39 and from England. Darcy. Oh, man. What I will say about Darcy first is, like, Darcy, this is what I thought. I'm like, if Darcy don't stop talking about Jesse and then crying about Jesse, it's like, okay, no. Give him up, because one thing is for sure. Jesse wanted his 15 minutes of fame, okay? And the fact that she just keeps bringing his name up or whatever is just letting him live on on his fame, through her. But yes, apparently Darcy, in getting over her breakup from Jesse, I guess she had met Tom before and they had communicated, but then she moved forward with a relationship with Jesse. But then she remained friends with Tom, again, who's from England, and he apparently helped her with her breakup. He really just, brought her back to life and just gave her the support and love that she needed and just she was really searching for. And yeah, so she's hoping, so essentially they have been in a online relationship for the past couple of months, I'm assuming. And I'm just happy that he's closer to her age. I'm just definitely happy he's closer to her age. He's definitely, seems to be somebody definitely more on the mature side. It's just kind of sad to see Darcy just still be very desperate, and desperate while also being unsure of herself. Because at one point, you see her like sending him a text message, and then she tells us what she wrote to him. She was like, she wrote like, hey babe, like, how are you, handsome, or something. And she was like, just a little flirty, but like not too much, like not like desperate, right? And like even just in her face, she just looked kind of like, was that too desperate, or was that too forward? Should I not have? Like, she just seems to be really kind of second guessing herself, or wondering like, oh, is this gonna make him flip out, or is that gonna make him like me more or less? Like, she just very like middle schoolish type, girly type insecurities seem to be really just flowing around Darcy, you know. Oh gosh. I gotta give it to the 90 Day Kids again. You know, Darcy's daughters, have been much more mature and emotionally intelligent, seemingly, than their mom from the time that Jesse was around to even now. I mean, they both said that they just want her to be careful and to watch out because she only knows him over the phone. She does not know him in person yet. And they said, she needs to be aware of red flags. And if any of those red flags pop up, she needs to just get out of there as quickly as possible. Like, does he put her down, and does he, act differently in front of friends and family or whatever? And they're just like, if he displays any of that, she needs to be done with him very quickly. So Darcy, at least take your daughter's advice. But, again, it's just kind of like that same language of just hoping that he's going to be the one, hoping he's going to be the one. And she noted, yes, I thought that Jesse was the one, but, clearly he wasn't. And my thing is, like, just let it grow organically without starting. And I get the hope, because you don't want to start and then be involved with somebody for some time to then only find out that this person is really no good, and then you've wasted a couple of months or whatever. I get that. But I also get, like, when you go in, like, hoping, like, I hope he's the one, I hope he's the one, I hope, you just put so much weight on it, and it just is too much. The one thing that I feel is just, I did not like with Tom, she is on the phone with Tom at one point, or maybe they're on FaceTime, and she says to him, oh, so, like, when I see you, like, at the airport, she's like, can I run up to you? Like, can I jump on you and like give you like a really big hug? Which I'm like, oh, why are you even asking that? That's too much. Be asking all permission. Like, is it okay if I do this? Is it okay if I do that? Whatever. It's like, ay. Tom has an answer for her, and his answer was not what I was expecting. Tom said, well, because you are coming basically like on a several hours flight, which is like, it's not even like it's 12 hours. It's like, what, 5, 6? Come on. From New York to London, he was like, I'm going to arrange for a cab to pick you up, or somebody to pick you up, and then we'll bring you to where he is. And then this will give her some time, which I'm like, but you expect her to do this in the airport, obviously, because unless did he book her hotel, and then he's allowing her to take the cab straight to the hotel, so then she has an opportunity to then freshen up before she then sees him. I'm not sure what the arrangement is. I'm confused. Or if she staying at his home. But regardless, he is not going to pick her up because he says that her breath is going to be kicking. That's literally what he said. I mean, not in those exact words, but like, he was like, you're going to need to freshen up, and I want to give you that freedom. Here's the thing. Darcy then says, oh, I know. I actually really appreciate that he is doing this. Like, I like that or whatever. My thing is like, okay. I mean, kicking breath is a part of life. But my thing is like, I would imagine that whenever anybody comes on that overnight flight, before they go and see their person, especially beforehand, Darcy, you don't think Darcy gonna take care of herself in the airport bathroom? You know what I'm saying? It's like, just get out your toothbrush, brush the teeth up, use the face thing, do your makeup. I mean, people do that all the time. Now, it's like, I don't know. That's a little too much. That's a little too particular for me. And it makes me feel like, I mean, calm down. If I'm not completely 100% fresh, it's like, it's okay, But like, anyway, I didn't like that. But we'll see. One last mention of Jesse. When she talked about Jesse, she was like, the torment I went through. And then, of course, the choking up, and Stacey's right there choking up right next to her, talking about, I'm strong. I will never let another man take me down. Will never let another man break me. Oh. But he notes, Tom does note, he was like, I think we need to stop talking about Jesse. Yes. Tell her, Tom. Let her know. Lastly, we have Tim, who's 38 and from Charlotte, North Carolina, and Jennifer, who is from Colombia and who is 25. Tim describes himself as amazing, and he drives a Ferrari, I think. He also says that he's had ugly ducks syndrome, because when he was growing up, he was totally the uncool kid, you know, but now he's like, he has a really kind of special job in that he designs really rare firearms. Now, I do not like guns. I don't do nothing with guns, whatever, but I do agree with him. What he does is actually a work of art. I mean, they're just very fancy looking, goldish and silverish with carvings and like, or carving, whatever. Just, I don't even know how you do that, you know, whatever he does. I mean, they're beautiful. Yes. Like very pieces of art, truly. And he's like, yeah, you're not going to want to fire this. Like, this is just a piece of art. This is, you know, something that is like something to collect and to show off, you know, like in a display case or something. And I guess that is making him a lot of money since he drives the Ferrari, although I guess the Ferrari is also part of what he needs for image, because he did say he's big on image. And I do note that, yeah, I mean, he's got a nice little look to him. He's got, you know, he's got his hair nicely slicked back. He's got nice eyes, and you know, he looks nice. He looks like a nice person, you know, except for the red suit that he keeps wearing in one of his interviews. I could do without that, the red shiny. But you know, he definitely seems to be somebody, he is still not yet over, you know, all those years of rejection and whatever. But here's the thing. He actually has an ex-fiancé that he's like basically best friends with. Now, what I'm unclear about, I got to go back and watch just to make sure. But what my guess is, what I came to understand was that his ex-fiancé, who's now his best friend, had a daughter, but because they had been together for so long, he basically grew up with that daughter. Her name is Chloe, and she was basically like his daughter, and she calls him daddy, you know, because it seems like that's like the only dad that she knows and that has been active in her life. So of all of the 90 Day kids that call these guys daddy, this is actually the only one that I actually comfortable with. Also because he's actually clearly a father to her, and he's already let his new girlfriend know that this is his daughter and she will continue to be in his life, you know? So then yes, you get the daddy title when you're a dad. So he's clearly that to her. But anyway, yes, so he's talking to his ex-fiance / best friend, whose name is Veronica. She's just like, you know, she's just not buying this girl, you know, and he's like, well, she's a model. And she's like, she's an Instagram model. That is a very different thing. And he's like, look, she's really gorgeous. And, you know, he's really intimidated by her beauty, but at the same time, he's like really excited to meet her. So he's planning on visiting her in Colombia very soon. And, apparently Veronica, for some reason, who's not really on board with this new relationship, is throwing him a farewell party. For what? Like, what? He's going for like a week, 2 weeks? I mean, he's not moving there, you know? Like, so I'm not sure why she's throwing him a farewell party except to continue to get her 15 minutes, you know, and to just add stuff to their storyline. So then when Tim calls Jennifer to tell her that his ex is throwing her the party, she flips out. She's like, what? For what? She's your ex. What does she need to be doing that for? And blah, blah, blah. Which I say yes. But my thing is, ex or not, why are you getting a farewell party anyway? You're not moving anywhere. Like, you're going on vacation. You know? Anyway. But yeah, Tim is already talking engagement. He's ready to propose. He's ready to just make it official. You know? I'm not sure how long they've been talking, though. That's the only thing. I didn't get timeline with him. Right. Anyway, well, this is an intro episode. There are more couples to come, including Sir Michael and Miss Angela. Okay, they have not made their appearance yet, but they are coming. All right, and you know it's gonna be a whole mess with them. So we will see. We will see what happens in this season, y'all. Ooh, this is already a lot, right? Let me know what you think, guys. Like below, comment. Who do you think is the craziest so far? Who do you think that Caesar is getting catfish? I think he is. I definitely think he is. Yes. That much money and then he's never seen her in 5 years? Absolutely not. Nope. So we'll see. But this seems to be this is gonna be a season, y'all. This is gonna be a season. Well, thanks for tuning in. All right, see you next week. Bye.